Hi and welcome everyone. My name is Bruce Swartz. I'm from Montreal, Quebec. I study astronomy, ufology, have an amazing community. Thanks for joining it and for doing so, and especially taking the time to become a member or subscribe. It really helps the channel, so thanks so much. A star close to the moon looks like Sirius, right? They all look like Sirius, but they all are not when you zoom up into them. So before we jump into structures on the moon, Bridenstine, NASA's administrator. If Trump was to lose the election and Biden come in, well, we would lose him as administrator. Why am I mentioning it? Is because it changes everything with the Artemis program and with each different director, the funding changes, the people that support the funding changes, and oh, look at this. We're on the moon. Let's change the subject and go on to the moon. Again, one of my favorite areas. But in detail, what are those pipe like objects going by? And, we're talking over 100 kilometers wide here. So it's not just an area like a couple of miles. We don't have big areas around here with all these pipes that are 20, 30 miles and kilometers long. For what? And I say pipes, it doesn't mean they're pipes. It could be, anything. It could be humans going through there, aliens, humans, whatever. Who knows? But we do see the construction and the lines that go up and down. What fascinates me is that it follows the surface up and down. And what about the hazes and clouds? The hazes and clouds, like you see these green patches, if they're blurry, it's because they're in movement, because everything else is clear. And underneath, we see these objects that obviously that green haze is there because it's hiding the objects on the surface. And this isn't just one area that we see that. We see it in many areas. We're going to see a couple of things in this video. Stars, too, that I got way back in 2016, actually. I accumulated them together. A couple of nice shots of the constellations. And this incredible circle that is a lot wider than Plato crater, which Plato is about 80 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. This would be about 125 kilometers. It's a round circle with a blur in the center and movement that is always there. And now we're seeing it because obviously it's along the Terminator line. I repeat myself all the time, but along the Terminator line, we see elevation, and often we see these, not often, all the time. It's the only way we see these details, or it's the only way I can see the details with the telescope here from Earth anyways. Objects going by the sun, very rare occasions. Maybe I'll never capture this beautiful occasion again to see a large object like that, but I don't know if you guys know it. It's probably bigger than Earth. Some of the most incredible evidence is closest to Earth's side in the southern highlands. This is the Apennine Mountains. The Apennine Mountains on the bottom. Over top, we can see what looks like connections. And not just any connections. And look at inside of the Apennine Mountains. Again, those straight lines, which I'll show you further in the video also. Another incidence of a straight line on the surface. Very, very long line. Now watch this. A tunnel or line that takes off from on top of the mountains, goes all the way over through the mountain, but still remaining at the same height, it seems, over to what looks like other tunnels that veer off in 2 or 3 different directions. We see some of these tunneled or long structures that are covered with dirt and earth. This is beside Copernicus crater with other filters, to see that the surface has elevated objects on it. They're hard to see, but not impossible to see. This one, pretty incredible. So we're going to see 2 tunnels leading off to a larger tunnel. Now this is incriminating evidence, once again, proving that there is some construction on the surface. Whether it be recent or not, I don't know. Check it out. 2 lines that go upwards like on a mountain, but come up to a wider like tunnel-like object that goes again towards these craters. So, often beside the craters, here's that line I told you, black line, which looks like another square inside of the Apennine Mountains. This is where they're hiding, and you see a straight edge there, like it's some type of shadow or dark object, or I have no idea what it is, but it certainly is interesting to see it on the moon. People tell me, Bruce, the moon's a Death Star. At the beginning, it was interesting. Didn't really think more or anything of it, but seeing all these structures come up off the surface that nobody's showing, and when I say nobody, I'm talking about NASA, right? They should be showing us these objects. Here again, Southern Highlands, right near Clavius Crater, closest to Earth, the bottom side of the moon. Inside of the craters, we see what looks like long objects, almost rectangles again. See them all over the surface. As you, my friends, are watching the video right now, I am outside filming with infrared, hopefully before the clouds arrive, because I want to see if I can see any UFOs. This is a directional change, one of 3 captures I got. Very rare capture, directional change. Let's go see some stars. Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. The OPH Nebula. I get nebulas too, Get them pretty nice. I worked pretty hard on showing these. This is many years ago, 2016. It's how the trolling started, I guess. A lot of people really, I don't know, didn't like me jumping in, I guess, amongst them. I wanted to share all the beauty that was out there and the incredible ways and techniques that I was doing, actually. Talked all about them way back. These are not NASA images. They're my personal images from my own programs. Nothing hidden, stacking programs, cameras like everyone in the world can do. These are beautiful shots. This is in the constellation of Lyra. The constellation of Lyra is filled with suns, just like the sun that's in our solar system that we know of. The constellation of Ursa Major is in the northern sky, also known as the Great Bear. Ursa Major borders 8 other constellations, Draco to the north, for one, and a second one that I appreciate is Leo in the south. And we are also going to go see the constellations of Ursa Major now, and Draco and Leo constellations. In the constellation of Ursa Major, also known as Phecda, is this star, and this is a star in the constellation of Ursa Major. Since 1943, the spectrum of this star has served as one of the stable anchor points by which other stars are classified.
Just M13, that's in the center of the trapezoid asterism, the keystone they call it, we're talking 300,000 stars, 15 documented planets inside the constellation of Hercules, and thousands more ready to be found. Hercules is approximately 359 light years away from Earth.
The most interesting part for me is always about the scale and size. I can never wrap my head around it. Now here's a star 30, Draconis. Slowing the object down, showing you each frame, what's happening to it. We're seeing a reaction, a chemical reaction, or whatever. We're seeing fire at the same time, a glow around the object as it's spiraling towards the moon. If it wasn't for my amazing community, this channel wouldn't even exist. Thanks a whole bunch, everyone. I really appreciate it. Slow disclosure is in progress. More information will be coming a lot more.
This is Houston. Say again, please.